got a few questions to ask.
Oh, you always do.
That's pretty handy because it's a questions quickie today.
Yes, again. All right.
Yeah, it's time for us to talk through the questions that you have sent in to us this week and see if we can help you figure out some stuff or help ourselves figure out some stuff here on Ghosts of Boyfriends Past.
That's actually very true. This show has given me quite a lot of helpful tips, helpful trips to getting through dating and making me a better human being, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think we're getting there.
So, look, the questions, I put up a call in our Ghosts of Boyfriends Past group therapy group of are there any burning questions that you want answered?
Excellent.
Now, a lot of these that came through, most of the ones that I have are not specific questions about someone's situation that they want our advice on, but just prompts for us to talk about.
Great. I'll take them. And if you want to join us on that group, that's group therapy on
Ghosts
Facebook.
of Boyfriends Past podcast, group therapy.
Excellent.
So one of the first questions is, what is the longest that it's taken someone to message you back when you thought that they'd ghosted you? Now, look, this isn't so much of a question for you, Tom, because you've been in a relationship for way too friggin' long.
And in one before that, so I don't think I have an answer. Elizabeth, over to you.
So mine's a bit funny in that it wasn't necessarily someone getting back to me, but they had ghosted me and I decided about... I want to say it had been 5 or 6 months later.
That's quite a slap,
to message them and be like, what the fuck? Mostly because at that time I was working as a relationship columnist for shesaid.com, and I thought, well, that's going to be a really good story if I actually contact somebody who ghosted me and went, hey, I thought things were going really well.
A little bit of why.
What gives? And they basically said to me, oh my God, I can't believe you're contacting me. I honestly thought that you didn't like me and I didn't think you were feeling it, so I hadn't responded. Well, like I hadn't reached out. They just hadn't messaged me after a date. So it's not like any message had gone unanswered.
Right.
But it turns out because the person was British that they had gone back to England in that time. Confirmed through their social media. I didn't just go, oh no, they've left the country and then find out that they were still in Australia. They had actually gone back home. I did do an FBI level stalk to find out if it was true or not. But yeah, about 5 or 6 months because I was like, hang on a minute, I just want an answer. And I did just want an answer and I got my answer, and my answer was if I had a fucking message, if I had followed my advice that I give frequently on this podcast, which is when you want to text someone, text them.
I was going to get my needly detective hat on
This
and
was
go,
pre-podcast, Elizabeth.
Why didn't you message?
Pre-podcast Liz didn't know a lot of stuff, Tom. Pre-podcast Liz just went, oh, he mustn't like me because he didn't message me. And now look at me. I'm oh man, I've got a story coming up in coming up episodes where I had to the point where I told a male friend this story and he went, your communication in this shitty situation was impeccable. And I was like, thank you, gold medal me. So that'll be coming in an upcoming episode. So when you see Liz and it's probably me.
Elizabeth. I don't know if you can, but how can you tell when two people are secretly hooking up?
Oh.
Can you? I think they become unaware because I've cottoned onto this before as well. I think they become unaware of physical distance.
Right.
They become too comfortable, too close.
Can you really say that in the theater community, though, where everyone is on top of everyone else all the time?
No, in the real world.
Oh, regular normies. Okay, cool.
Of course they're having sex. You just wave an arm and they of course they
I had someone incorrectly assume that I was having sex with someone recently. I was talking about someone in a group setting on the weekend, and my friend went, oh, well, I just assumed because they stayed back afterwards. When I drove away, I thought, oh my God, they're fucking. And I'm like, we absolutely were not. But look, if they spend a lot of time together, the physical distance thing is a kind of a big giveaway. Also, if they start either deliberately the opposite, if they're so fucking far apart, you're like, what happened there, please?
There. So there are a couple of things you can, I don't know, attune your radar to.
I want to know if you guys at home have come up with a way to, like, have you sprung somebody and how did you spring them? What gave it away? What were their little hints and tips and tricks?
I want to know. Please tell me.
Okay, here's another one that I have found myself on the end of recently.
Okie dokie.
Why do people that dump and ghost you sneakishly, and this is in quote marks because it's not very sneaky, sneakishly check your socials even after many months apart?
I don't know.
I hooked up with somebody not too long ago, and I see them check
but-
my socials a lot over the past couple of months.
It's a whole core universe of a game that is social media, isn't it? Is it a I'm asking questions myself. I have no idea. But
So-
is it like a I'm here? Remember, like just a reminder, just to keep that ticking over in your brain. Yeah, I'm here. Reminder.
Sometimes, okay, so here's what I've gleaned from my overanalyzing of the situation from a couple of months ago. And it was probably about like, I'm going to say September, October at this point. So when I see them check one of my stories, I go, oh, okay, they've just been flicking through reels and they've seen one.
And yours is next, and there we go.
And when they see me, if I see that they haven't seen any subsequent stories after that, I know that it was an accident and they've just flicked on my profile. Whereas if I see that they've gone through and clicked next, I know it was on purpose. And that's when I start posting thirst traps. Absolutely not advisable. This
Now,
is when you get stuck in your own head.
For our friends at home, a thirst trap is...
A photo where you look particularly attractive or where you're trying to get a response from a particular group of people.
Someone outside of yourself will be thirsty for you.
And look, let's be honest, most of my photos I post are thirst traps anyway, but I will just strategically time them.
Just drop one out.
Well, Liz from September was strategically timing them. Now I just don't care and I post them all the time. But yeah, I think that sometimes with the way that reels and stories work these days, they can accidentally see the first one, but if you can see that they've seen the first, second, third and fourth, that's when they're actually looking. And I think it's because they still want to keep the option, like it's a conversation starter. They can be like, hey, I see that you X, Y, and Z. How is that kind of thing? Like it's a way of kind of not keeping keeping tabs, I guess. It sounds creepy saying keeping tabs, but it's a way of still having a window into your life without having to I was going to say man or woman or person up and deal with that situation.
And I say, Ivan, my inkling is that there's a little bit of, like your phone sends you a notification from an application just saying, I'm here. Remember I'm here. Just a reminder. I'm here. You'll look at me eventually. I think it's a bit of that.
It's so tempting as well, though. Like I've had to have the talk with a bunch of mates when they've broken up with someone and gone, Did you check their socials today? Are you lying to me? Can you put your phone in a lockbox? Why do you do this to yourself? Please stop hurting your own feelings.
Yeah, so I don't know. We're not giving advice on this on a question. A lot of advice. Sorry, we have to on the questions one, but yeah, maybe put the social media to an aside.
If it's hurting your feelings, don't do it. If you're going to contact your friend and be like, he's got a new girlfriend, why? Stop. This is not directed at one particular friend I know who does this all of the fucking time and hurts her own feelings. Absolutely
We're talking
not.
to you.
I'm talking to everybody. Why would you think I'm aiming this at you, Emma? Why?
No, not at all.
No, Emma's in a happy relationship now. But she does frequently hurt her own feelings, and I've had to have that talk with her a few times.
Elizabeth,
love you, Emma.
You're giving all the information and advice today, and you can help again.
Okay, great. I love helping.
To see us off, I need some do's and do nots for buying a partner or love interest jewellery.
Never love hearts unless they specifically tell you that they like love hearts for some specific reason.
Nothing with a love heart on it. Step away from that locket, from that necklace
you're
with
like,
the love
but it's
heart.
romantic. It's fucking embarrassing to wear a love heart unless that love heart has Return to Tiffany written on it, or unless somebody has specifically told you that they like love hearts. They will wear it because they love you, but they will also have a tiny little cringe in their heart.
Yes, so love hearts out.
Unless you know somebody's size, do not buy lingerie.
Yes.
Because you're either going to offend them by it being too large or hurt their feelings by being too small, and they will feel uncomfortable about displaying it for you either way.
Forget it. You'll get it wrong. Move on.
If you know the size, great. And also, though, keep in mind that is a gift for you.
Yes. Yes.
And you probably want to back it up with something that's a little more selfless.
So,
don't buy someone a door snake. That happened to me once. It's not a good romantic present for Valentine's Day.
I'm uncomfortable buying, hypothetically, I'm trash at picking out earrings, rings, necklaces. Mm-hmm. What if I take my partner as a surprise and I let her choose?
That's lovely.
And she can do that.
Honestly, they're like, okay, so your present is here's a budget, let's go shopping.
Is that it?
Great
Thumbs
present.
up?
Thumbs
Up.
Absolutely. And look, if you want to take a stab on it, you can ask questions throughout the relationship, like like when you've got a little, catalog open from the mail. Remember that, the thing that goes in your letterbox? That just be like, so if you were to be a type of ring, what type of ring would you be?
Yep.
Just ask little questions. Be curious throughout the relationship, so that when it comes to present time,
Yes.
you've got ideas, because
should.
you're being curious the whole time, not just when you have to panic and buy a present.
Such a good idea. Keep outside of this, keep a tab or a notebook so that when your partner says in February, oh, I love this, I wish I had more of this.
Yeah.
When it comes to Christmas, you've got that idea already in your head. You got to do that research. You got to do that active sort of caring and listening and involvement.
And don't feel afraid to give someone hints, because it's less romantic, people. Like, I know that you're like, well, he should just, or she should just know what I want because they know me. But I mean, I've dated someone who was neurodivergent, and I gave them a list of things that I like, not of specific presents, because I think that takes the surprise out of it. But it was a written list that said, my shoe size is this, I like these type of shoes. My clothing size is this, I like these type of clothes. I really don't like these flowers, I really do like it. I called it the Liz cheat sheet, so that whenever they were worried about what to get me, they could kind of go, okay, here's a list, here's a map of all the stuff that she likes.
Perfect.
Let's see if one of these will fit.
Wonderful.
And I don't think it takes, if you're not telling people specific things like buy me this, they buy you this. If you're just like, here's a cheat sheet to all kinds of things that I love. I love picnics. I hate surprises. I love this. I hate that. It's just, I don't know. It's communicating, but in a different way.
Yeah. Very good. Excellent. Well, what a corker of a Quickie episode.
I know. I kind of enjoyed questions this time, because it's more general. It's like we had a whole bunch of cold opens in one one episode, rather than us, and rather than dealing with someone's cheating on me. How do I tell them to fuck off?
Yes.
Which I still love. So if you have someone cheating on you, someone cheating on me, please tell me. Please send in all of those sorts of questions, because we love helping with broad general advice, but we also love helping with issue-specific questions as well.
Send in your own questions or your own advice. On an episode gone by, Elizabeth or myself or both of us in a combination may have given inadequate advice or bad advice, but if you have better advice, send it in. Say, or you two, tell the readers this. Stop kidding yourselves that you're experts, even though you've been doing this for how many bloody years now? Oh my God. 3 or 4 years.
Oh my God.
And on that spirit, that length of time, we thank you so much for sticking with us here on Ghosts of Boyfriends Past. You dear readers, tune in each and every week.
I couldn't be more tickled by the amount of people that write in and tell us
not at all
wonderful things about the impact that our podcast has had on different people, both specific and in general. I mean, it's the reason we keep doing it, right? Every time someone says it helped me in any big or small way, it just makes my little heart sing, and I bloody am happy. I'm happy for a whole bloody week, which is really difficult in 2023 to be happy for a whole week. But this is what your reviews and your comments do. So if you want to make me happy for a whole friggin' week, please write in and tell us what you think of the podcast. We really appreciate it. Until then, I've been Liz.
And I'm Tom. Thank you so much.
See you next Quickie.
Yeah.